going to act as the nucleophiles. Nucleophiles are the species which contain a lone pair of electron, at least one lone pair of electron. In other words, we can say nucleophiles are the electron rich species which can donate a lone pair of electron to the next atom. On the oxygen of the alcohol molecule, we are having two unshared electron pairs, that is two lone pairs of electrons are present which can be donated towards the electron deficient centers like carbonyl compounds. Here I am having C double bond where carbon is electron deficient and the lone pair of electron can be donated towards the carbon, something like this. So what happens when the electron has been donated towards the carbon, a new bond is formed between the oxygen and carbon. But already oxygen was having the two lone pair of electron. Now one lone pair electron has been shifted towards the carbon. Now oxygen will become the electron deficient and it is going to gain the positive charge. The positively charged species will be unstable, hence it will donate a proton or removal of the proton takes place to give rise to a new molecule containing oxygen and carbon bond. Similarly, as a electrophile also it can act, but only after the protonation. I have taken one simple alcohol here. The protonation means attack of the proton towards the oxygen molecules from the acid. So H plus has been attacked toward the oxygen and we have got RCH2OH2 plus. Again here also same concept. Oxygen was having two lone pair of electron. One lone pair of electron has been shifted towards the hydrogen bond. Hence oxygen is electron deficient. Now it is electron deficient, so it can take up the electron. So I will take one more nucleophile like Br minus, that is bromide ion. When bromide iodine is reacted with the same above molecule, electron is shifted towards the CH2 because OH2 plus whatever is there, it can take up the electron and leave as the H2O molecule. So what we have got? RCH2Br. So new bond has been formed between carbon and bromine. That is haloalkanes have been formed from the alcohols, which you have already studied in the first topic, haloalkane and haloarenes, where alcohols react with halogens in the form of HX, that is hydrogen halide, to give rise to haloalkanes along with the byproduct water. Then the next step, alcohols react in the three different ways. First one is the reactions involving the cleavage of the OH bond. That means acidic nature of the alcohols. That's what we are going to see here, acidity of the alcohols. How we can prove the acidity of the alcohols? By making them to react with the metals like sodium, potassium and aluminum. So first reactions which we are going to see is acidity of the alcohols, that is with reaction with metals. Second is very important, that is your esterification reaction. Third one, reactions involving the cleavage of carbon and oxygen bond. That means whatever OH is there, it will be completely removed and a new atom will be added towards it. So there are four different categories in that. Again, reactions with hydrogen halide, that is HX. Second one, reaction with phosphorus trihalide. Third one, dehydration reaction, and the fourth one is oxidation reactions. Now we are going to see one by one. So let us start with reaction involving the cleavage of OH bond, that is acidity of alcohols. When alcohols react with the metals like sodium, potassium and aluminum, when alcohols react with the metals like sodium, potassium and aluminum, they are going to form corresponding alkoxides along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. What are alkoxides? RO minus are commonly known as the alkoxide. Now if I am using the sodium, then the alkoxide formed will be sodium alkoxide. If you are using the potassium, potassium alkoxide. Aluminum, then we are going to get the aluminum alkoxide. Let us see the reaction. ROH on reacting with sodium, we are going to get the RONA. Just now I have told you RO minus are the alkoxides. Since the metal is sodium, O minus will react with Na plus to give rise to RONA. That is, sodium alkoxide will be formed along with the hydrogen gas. Next, acidity of the alcohol will continue. It is mainly due to the polar nature of the OH bond. Due to the polar nature of the OH bond, acidity is seen. So we are having the different types of the substituent along with the OH group. They are mainly CH3 and C2H5 groups, which are electron releasing group, which you have studied last year in the inductive effect. Which type of inductive effect it is? Plus I effect. Due to the plus I effect, that is electron releasing group, there is an increase in the density over the OH bond will be seen. As the electron density increased on the OH group, the polarity of the OH bond will be decreased. As the polarity of the OH bond decreases, the acidic strength also will be decreased. Now you can easily make the generalization. The acidic strength of the alcohols follows something like this. Primary alcohols, which are more acidic than that of the secondary alcohols, which are more acidic than that of the tertiary alcohols. You should remember, it is mainly due to the plus I effect. As the plus I effect increases, acidic strength will be decreased. Next, the reaction with the water. How it is going to see? Alcohols are weaker acid than that of the water. We will see how it is. Let us take the example base or alkoxide. ROH was there, it is dissociated into RO minus due to polarity, along with the H plus is there. And when you have taken this base and made to react with the water, we are going to get ROH along with that OH minus. OH minus is a nucleophile which is a conjugate base of the acid. Last year in the ionic equilibrium we have studied acid loses the proton to give rise to conjugate base. Base abstract the proton to give rise to conjugate acid. In the above reaction, water is there, it is a better proton donor. It is easily give the proton, hence it is giving the proton, it is the acid. And alkoxide ion, which is a proton acceptor, hence it will become the base. Hence alcohols act as the Bronsted base because it is formed due to the acid. Because of the presence of unshared electron pair on the oxygen, it always acts as a Bronsted base. Next reaction, second class, that is esterification reaction. One of the important reaction, important for 2 marks, you should remember. Alcohols on reacting with carboxylic acids or acid chlorides or acid anhydrides. Alcohols on reacting with acids, acid chlorides and acid anhydrides gives ester along with the byproduct of water. During this reaction, the byproduct will be always water and it has to be removed immediately. It has to be removed immediately. So reaction, what's just now I said, the same thing is there, water is removed immediately. So reaction with anhydrides is always carried out in the presence of this sulfuric acid because it will easily take up the water, which is a stronger dehydrating agent. So what is the definition of this one? Definition: alcohols on reacting with carboxylic acid, acid chloride and acid anhydrides gives fruity smell of ester. This reaction is known as esterification reaction. Definition carries 1 mark and the reaction carries 1 mark. Reaction we are going to write here. ROH plus R dash COOH in presence of H plus, that is sulfuric acid, we are going to get RCOOR dash, which is a ester. along with the byproduct of water. Similarly, we will go for the acid anhydrides. ROH plus R dash CO twice oxygen. The structure is something like this: R dash C double bond O, O to the same oxygen again C double bond O, R dash will be there. Anhydrides we have studied last year. On reaction with H plus gives RCOOR dash and R dash COOH. Similarly, acid, the third one, acid chlorides, ROH plus R dash COCl in presence of the pyridine, it gives RCOOR dash plus HCl. The pyridine which we are using here, it is going to takes up the HCl which is produced during the reaction. That is a major use of the usage of pyridine. The third one, which is very important class, which you should remember, that is reactions involving cleavage of CO bond. In this we are again having the 4 different categories. First one is reaction with hydrogen halides. Alcohols, on reacting with hydrogen halide, you are going to get alkyl halide and the hydrogen. The same reaction you have studied in the preparation of alkyl halides. The preparation of alkyl halide will become the reaction of the alcohols. The same reaction we will see here in the form of a reaction. ROH plus HX is going to give RX plus H2O. Along with that, one more important is there. The name of the test is called as Lucas test. Important for 3 marks. Make the 3 column: experiment, observation and inference. So what is the test? We have given with the unknown alcohol. We are provided with the unknown alcohol. To that unknown alcohol, we will add Lucas reagent. Lucas reagent is mixture of anhydrous zinc chloride and concentrated HCl. When you take the alcohol and Lucas reagent and you shake it, if the turbidity is produced immediately, it indicates the given alcohol is tertiary. If the turbidity is produced after few minutes, it indicates given alcohol is secondary. If the turbidity is not produced at room temperature and it is produced only after heating, then it is called as a primary alcohol. Important for theory as well as practicals. The questions may be asked. If you are provided with the given alcohol and you have added the Lucas test, if the turbidity is produced after 5 minutes, what is the nature of alcohol? Or they may ask, you have provided with given alcohol, how do you determine whether the alcohol is primary, secondary or tertiary? Answer is by Lucas test. Second reaction, reactions with phosphorus trihalide, that is PX3. Here we have taken one example, phosphorus tribromide, that is PBr3, which is a common reagent. Alcohols on reaction with PBr3, OH bond will be broken completely and Br will go and attack to the R. When we have seen the alcohols act as electrophiles, Br minus will be attacked. The same Br minus can be produced from PBr3 also. Same reaction here repeated. 3 molecules of RBr, that is alkyl bromide, is produced along with the S3PO3. Next reaction, dehydration. You are going to study the mechanism of dehydration also. Very important for 3 marks. In the last part of the paper, second POC, they will be commonly asking the dehydration mechanism. Be thorough with this question. Dehydration of alcohols. Alcohols on reacting with protic acids, they undergo dehydration to produce alkenes. Protic acid along with the alcohols gives alkene. Let us take one example, CHCOH. On heating in presence of H plus, we are going to get C double bond C, that is alkene, along with the removal of water. Hence the water is removed, dehydration reaction. One example, ethanol. Ethanol on heating with some protic acid like H2SO4 at 443 Kelvin, we are going to get ethene and water. The temperature plays a very important role. If you are changing the temperature, the product form will be different. Hence, make sure that the temperature is 443 Kelvin only. Don't change it. Let us see the structure wise. CH3, CH2, OH. Concentrated H2SO4 has been used and heated at 443 Kelvin. What we have got? Ethene plus H2O. Secondary and tertiary alcohols also dehydrated under milder conditions, something like 440 Kelvin and 358 Kelvin. Why it is so? The relative ease of dehydration will be highest for tertiary, secondary and primary, because we have already seen the temperature for the tertiary is 358 and secondary is 440 and primary, that is ethene, is 443. The main reason for this one is tertiary carbocations are more stable than that of the secondary than that of the primary. Hence, tertiary carbocations are more stable. They are easy to form than that of the secondary and primary. Hence, tertiary alcohols are easiest to dehydrate compared to secondary and primary. The next class of the reaction is oxidation reactions. Oxidation reactions involve the formation of carbon-oxygen double bond with the cleavage of OH and CH bond. Here OH and CH both bond will be broken to form the C double bond O new bond. Let us see one example, HCOH. Here which bonds are going to break? We have C. CH and OH, both the bonds are going to break down. What will happen when the bond is broken down? We have formed with a new bond, that is C double bond O. In this reaction, two hydrogens are removed. Hence this reaction is also known as dehydrogenation reaction. It is mainly due to the loss of dihydrogen. One example, I have taken one primary alcohol which on oxidation gives aldehyde. If you further oxidize the primary alcohol, what we are going to get? We are going to get the carboxylic acids. That means stronger oxidizing agents like KMnO4 gives carboxylic acids directly, because they are not going to stop at the intermediate state of aldehydes. But if you want the aldehydes, what we have to do? We have to go for a milder oxidizing agent like CrO3, chromium trioxide. Chromium trioxide is used for the isolation of aldehydes because the reaction will stop only at the aldehyde. Further oxidation of aldehydes will not be takes place. So what is the reaction? RCH2OH in presence of CrO3, we are going to get the aldehyde. Along with that, one more important reagent is there, that is pyridinium chlorochromate, PCC. It is used to form the aldehydes. Only exclusively aldehydes. Remember this one. Why? I will tell you when we take the example. What is pyridinium chlorochromate? It is chromium trioxide. When it is mixed with pyridine and HCl, it is called as PCC. We have taken one example, CH3CH double bond CH2OH. When it is reacted with PCC, there are two possibilities. Two different functional groups are present which will undergo oxidation. One is OH, 2 give rise to CHO, and C double bond C, that is alkene, it can break. But PCC does not affect the double bond. PCC is going to act only on the OH. That is why I said it is used to yield exclusively the aldehydes. It is not going to affect any of the double bond which is present in the given molecule. So what is the product? CH3CH double bond CHO. That is but 2 in 1 all. Next one, RCH R-OH, that is your secondary alcohol. When the secondary alcohol is present, we are having RC R- along with the C double bond O, that is ketone will be formed. Primary alcohols yields the aldehyde, secondary alcohols yield the ketone. But what about the tertiary alcohol? Tertiary alcohol does not undergo oxidation reaction. Remember, very very important. Primary aldehydes, secondary ketone, and tertiary alcohol does not undergo oxidation reactions. Let us see some more different oxidizing agents like copper. When vapors of the primary and secondary alcohols are passed over the copper catalyst, we are going to get aldehyde or ketones. If it is a primary, we have got the aldehyde, secondary then we have got the ketone. Here also hydrogen is liberated, hence it is also called as dehydrogenation reaction. Next one, a primary alcohol. The same example in the form of a reaction. In the copper catalyst at 573 Kelvin, we have yielded the aldehyde, and secondary alcohol, we have got the ketones. Tertiary alcohol, what about the tertiary alcohol? Tertiary alcohol undergo dehydration reaction, that is removal of the water molecule. One tertiary alcohol was there, that is tertiary butyl alcohol. On reaction with copper at 573 Kelvin, we have got 2-methyl prop 1-ene along with the water. Here some of the few important things you have to remember. Primary alcohols, aldehyde, secondary alcohol, ketones. Tertiary alcohol does not undergo oxidation, but only in presence of copper catalyst at 573 Kelvin. Tertiary alcohols will undergo dehydration reaction, not the dehydrogenation reaction, to yield the corresponding alkenes. Important with respect to your competitive examination. By changing the catalyst, how the product will be varied. Okay. Thank you.